back to Two Kims, One Pod. My name is Peter Kim.
And my name is Unji Kim.
See, I love how you matched it.
Yeah.
I always felt Oh, okay. I feel like you and I have never been to 노래방 together. Have we?
No.
How I cannot believe you and I have never, the most like Korean ass people doing Korean ass shit have never been to a 노래방 together. That's so crazy.
I'm really bad at singing.
No, I was going to say, I thought you were bad, but you just picked up the tune right there. I was assuming that you were bad just the way you speak. Yeah. The harshness of your speaking voice made me deduce that, like, she can't carry a tune.
I mean, can I tell you how many times I was brought in to try to understudy for TN, and they would be like...
to sing her song.
And it was just like...
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, check out Tien Tran. She's awesome. She's a friend of ours. She has a great. I think there's a clip out there of that.
Yes.
Of her doing that song. Yeah,
and it's incredible,
so
and it's a very
Did you ever
hard
get the
song.
gig or
No?
You like?
I never got it. I mean, because
you would wait. They would bring you in to act like Tien, and you couldn't get the gig because of the song.
Because of how poorly I mean,
you sang the song.
Because also the song was a huge part of the show. And it's
yeah.
also a hard song to sing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but the thing is, this is how fucked up it is. Like, they brought me in multiple times. Like, I wasn't going to learn to sing.
They were like, hope she takes some lessons.
Like, this isn't that much of a dream of mine to commit to learning how to sing. But
I'm not going to learn how to sing for $104 before tax. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
I've got other things to do.
Yeah, I am a full-ass mother of human children. I don't need to learn how to sing for shekels.
I'm sorry, but like, I mean, the first time I ever had to do it, I remember Googling how to sing. Mm-hmm. And reading.
What did you find? What did Google say when you said how to sing?
So there's a WikiHow about how to sing. And
there's a WikiHow for pretty much anything that's important or not important.
Like how
there's
to
a
sing.
WikiHow for everything.
And there's like a cartoon human that's like showing you how to sing. Drinking or breathing from your diaphragm, opening up your mouth. And like stuff like that. And so I practiced that. I followed the WikiHow and I was like, let me tell you, I was like, okay, I got her doing it. Yeah. And
was this pre-YouTube? I just want to know. Like, was this not a time where you could learn about things on YouTube?
Very, very post. I just didn't want to watch this video. You're
like, let me do this the hard way.
Let me do as little as possible.
Yeah.
And expect the most results. And I literally did it before because I literally, as I was going in, I could hear people singing the song, and I was like,
hitting every note. Yeah, going for like improvised riffs.
Yeah.
There's some harmonies being laid down.
Like Northwestern musical theater majors. Like this is they're theatrical. They've learned their lines. They're off book. You know, I'm going in hoping to skate by on some personality.
Yeah. You did stand up at 1 a.m. the night before, and you're still kind of drunk.
And I'm like, woo. So, but yeah, I did so bad. I remember after one of them.
I can't believe they brought you back. That's they must have been desperate.
Yes.
I mean, there were not a lot of Asians in the Second City system, so.
And I don't think there are that many now.
Well, they learned.
Okay,
they figured it out.
I'm gonna say, get rid of them. I mean, truly, like I remember being called in after one of them, and my scene partner, after hearing me sing, just kind of leaning back and going, wow.
Wow. I look good in this scene.
Yeah, I can't believe this is what you're bringing to the table. Like, you should have stayed home.
I just need the audience to realize that this wasn't you in your 20s. You were fully mid-30s. Yeah.
Late.
This was a couple of years ago.
I think this is my mid-30s. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, probably like early maybe I was like year 4.
Because like if you're young, you could understand why someone would prepare
Subject
so
themselves to
little.
this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But now that they know that you are in your late 30s, they just are aware of how little you do for yourself and your career. Which, by the way, me too.
Yeah.
I'm the laziest person in the world. So I do as little as possible to get as much as possible as well.
Yes.
So like that's the immigrant way, and that's how we do it.
That's actually how. I mean, it's a attitude.
It's actually the opposite. Actually, the immigrants work the hardest and get zero.
The least. It's like this is like a very white person attitude.
This is
do
white
the least,
privilege attitude. Yeah, you and I have the gall to act privileged, or like, or what is it? It's like to deem yourself privileged enough to not work.
I mean, that's
right?
like that's
like upper crust mentality.
But also, there's a part of me that understood this was not for me.
We weren't built for that.
I wasn't built for this, and
we're an outsider looking in,
and I felt compelled to show up for the auditions. And show up for the auditions, prepare, and do the motions, go through the motions of it all because I'm being afforded an opportunity. But fundamentally, I understood like I'm not a great actor. I don't know how to sing. I mean, I was telling someone recently that I used to have a squeaky voice. Like, you guys need to understand this. Like, if you're listening to me on the pod right now, I used to have a very squeaky voice.
When? Like, during puberty?
Always. Like, up until I was, I would say, 18, 19.
What? This is like the opposite of Elizabeth Holmes.
Yes.
Like her lowering her voice to be taken seriously. Like, what happened? You were putting on a voice?
No, I just always had a very squeaky voice. But then
it was natural?
It was natural.
No way. I can't imagine you with a squeaky voice.
Yeah, and this is what smoking and drinking and having a really lovely time can do to your voice. Like over the course of, I would say, the last, like decade, it has gone very low. And it's 100% because of drinking and smoking. So,
and that's so interesting. Tip. People still don't take you seriously. What's happening?
Surely, like I used to have a very squeaky voice, like a voice that sort of matched my face.
Yeah, and your body.
My face and body. Like it was not. This is not. The like dichotomy did not occur until like maybe 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah,
it's crazy. Wow. I mean, like just smoking a lot. Smoking.
Can I tell you when I came out of the closet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before I came out.
Okay. When you were 28?
Yeah, like mid to late 20s. Or like even in high school when I had no intention of coming out. I was like, I'll stay in this closet forever. You know, like.
Let me set up shop here. I'm going to put a kitchen up in here.
Yeah, I'm going to loft my bed. There's going to be some storage under here, hon. I have a lot of shit to pack away and never think about. But I was in high school and twice, 2 different times, 2 different girls told me that I had gay voice.
Huh?
Yeah. Like, an obviously kind of gay affectation. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
You know what a gay voice is.
But
it's very Mateo Lane, if you ever heard Mateo Lane.
But it's crazy that 2 girls told you that.
At separate times, not at the same time. Like one girl came up to me and I was just like feeling myself, making jokes that like like my real self was coming out
for sure.
And and she was like, "Why do you sound like a girl?" And I was like, "Oh," and I was just like, "What do you mean?" Like I went full like drag queen, like giving up the act. And then the second time. The second time, another girl from a different clique, a whole different clique from my clique, still Asian, approached me and said, like, what did she say? "Hey, you're gay, right?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you sound gay." And I was like, and that was like the second time I heard that like I had sounded gay.
Was it accusatory? Was she trying to catch you in something? Or was
I think looking back, I took it as accusatory, but I think she was queer and trying to reach out and be like, queer see queer, right?
Oh.
Like, can we hang? Can we like support each other? You know,
so
LGBTQ?
so once you said no, Was she like, oh, sorry, like?
She gave me a look like, are you sure? Like she was like finding it out for me. She was like, oh no, honey, you're gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to hide. But at that point, I was not like in a place to not hide, you know. And she was not my good friend or anything. It's not like she was like my best friend and she was like, hey, can we have a talk? Like, I really love you and I see that you're struggling. Like, you should come out or whatever. Like, that would be a completely different thing. This was some girl who like hung out with the handball guys. You know what I mean? And we were ultimate frisbee.
Handball guys. That was like a known clique.
Oh, between the Asians, the Koreans were the ultimate frisbees, and the Chinese were the handball crew. And we never met. There was only one Taiwanese kid that would go back and forth in between. He was able to code switch between the Christian Korean frisbee geeks and the hardcore Chinese handball whores. Like, they were like, the Chinese kids were so much cooler. They had like long hair.
Yeah.
They never, none of them went to church.
No.
None of them were Christian. They were all
godless.
Like godless,
yes.
atheists, and they
it.
believed in science. And they played handball, which was a very cool like street sport in New York.
Yeah.
Whereas ultimate frisbee was, again, very white. You know, it's very Korean of me to be like chasing whiteness and assimilation, and that was very us.
Yes.
And we just loved throwing that disc around, and that was like my whole life for a while. So when this girl from the handball crew came up to me and accused me, a Christian frisbee thrower,
a discusser,
a discusser, and a prepster, basically. We were preppies and they were like gangster.
Yeah.
And
I did both. I had very baggy corduroy pants.
Oh my God. So confusing. Who is she? She's hanging out with every clique. And I could imagine. You know how like there are those cool people who like flit around and can be in every clique? That wasn't you.
I was the dork that was rejected from every group.
Every clique, and you just kept going down the line. Was there any clique in high school where like even them you wouldn't join? You were like, oh no, not them.
No.
For me, it was the skaters.
Oh no, I love that.
You love that. Yeah.
I love that.
I couldn't get into the skating of it all. I think like, just the way I'm shaped, I wasn't good for balancing on a board.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but I didn't like doing things that I wasn't good at. Like first, like this, not discus, ultimate frisbee, I was actually good at. So like I kept with it. But like skating and stuff like that, or handball, it really hurt my hands. I couldn't do it anyway. So this girl from the handball crew, like, accosted me with gay voice, and I remember since then, until I came out, I was trying to not give off that I was gay, stifling the gay, and trying to, I don't know about actively sounding straight, but like being hyper aware of any tells there might be, an errant lisp, something that might
bring I mean, but the thing is, there are certain truths about yourself that only can be related from an acquaintance, because your friends actually can't confront you about it.
Yes, and they don't see it sometimes.
Yeah. They can't see it sometimes, or they know that it's too close, or like you're not ready. Versus sort of an acquaintance that's just like, you don't realize this like very basic thing about your, like, because they see you, right? Because this bitch saw you.
She heard me.
She heard you. And it's because
from the third floor, she was like,
because she could see you. Because there's a perspective, right? I remember every single time I've ever had like a facial issue, like every single.
What do you mean, like pimples?
Every time I've had hair removed from my body, it has been because of a gangster Asian or ethnic white has come up to me and be like, "Girl, you got to take care of that." Like I had a mustache, a full mustache. I've had a mustache since I had a mustache since I was 11. Maybe 9.
Lucky. I was always the kid like trying to grow a mustache at 11.
yeah, I was killing it in the.
Yeah, if we went to school together, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, she's so fucking cool." Like, how mask?
because I had a full, like, you could see it in a black and white photo.
Oh my God. It's
Like,
not
in my
even
second
peach
grade.
fuzz.
No, it was like dark
No.
hair.
Oh my God.
Like since I was in like so like 8 or 9, I've had a full
Oh my God.
mustache.
Oh my God.
So
Did you have a unibrow too?
No, but I had like
'Cause usually that comes together.
Yeah, it was. I did have a little bit, but it was very faint.
Faint.
Like it was not like it was not coming together all the way, but it was like, you know, it was unibrow-esque, but it was mostly I was very fuzzy eyebrows.
Yeah.
And I had very hairy legs. I was just hairy.
You're hairy.
And I was hairy for an Asian person, you know? And I remember this like hip hop Filipino girl coming up to me and being like, we need to get rid of that. Like when I was 13. And I was not friends with her. And I went to her house and she did like a at home thing. Wax.
What did she use? She used like
at home wax thing.
She
like
had it?
A kit. Yeah, because she was like fully fucking. You know, like
okay. Why were the Filipinos in our schools way like more sex positive than us? Aren't they Catholic? Isn't that like a full like sexual shame as much as us?
I mean, I would say that often means that they are more exploring.
Oh, more slutty. Oh,
yes.
Okay. That the harder the rules.
Yeah, the more
harder
they're
they
rebelling.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, like, and it was also she was not like a good friend of mine. Like it was, she was just like, I'm going to help this girl because she can't be out here looking
altruism.
Yes, truly. Yeah. And the same thing with my eyebrows. I was in driver's ed, and this Assyrian girl, because it was I did during the summer, so it was with all these Orthodox boys, like gangster teens that knew they wanted to get a license right away so they could start working. And me, like AP kids that didn't have time in their schedule to take driver's ed during the year.
So you're fitting it in after extracurricular,
like during the summer, cram it in. And I was 17, so I was older. And I just remembered that summer, that Syrian girl during class was like, because it was on Devon, and if you guys know Chicago, it's like a very Indian
South Asian street.
South Asian street. So there's a lot of threading places. And she took me during the break at driving school and was like, "You need to fix this." And she, again, not a friend.
I can't keep looking at you.
I can't, like, you're...
This is extracurricular. I'm here on extra time, and you're pissing me off.
So
you're ruining this.
She was like a scary Assyrian girl, and she was like, no. Because I always got along with those, like, kind of scary girls. Like, I think now, inside of modern parlance, they're described as monster drink, Cookie Monster pajama pants girls.
What?
Yeah, it's like a genre of girl. And it is
Cookie
like,
Monster pajama pants girl? That's so specific. How many girls wear Cookie Monster pajama pants? And why is that a culture? Like, how is that differentiated from anyone else who might wear pajamas?
It's a specific genre of girl that is very tough, kind of scary, and not popular. Like, it's like this subgroup.
Okay.
But anyways, this girl was she was popular, and she was like very big inside of the Assyrian crew.
The Cookie Monster crew, yeah.
Yes. No, Assyrian, like, scary gangster crew.
But
like that genre, like tough.
Yeah.
Take no prisoners, all that stuff. So she's the one that, like, I remember her walking me to the threading place, me giving the lady $30, $13, them doing it. And as they were about to do it, the girl was like, no, hey, do the alcohol on her. And she was like, and yelled at them because they didn't do a complete job. And because she was like, if they don't do the alcohol, you're going to break out in that spot. And so she looked out for me even more.
Wow.
And told me how to get my eyebrows threaded, like what to expect from the experience.
Whoa.
Let me tell you.
That's incredible.
Let me tell you, never talked to her again. Never hung out. Like, it was, that's what I mean. It's like these, like,
Syrian guardian angels
that, like, have helped me with my body hair.
Wow.
But it's like,
and you had no idea. You had no sister. You had no cousins to rely on. Your mom wasn't taking care of that.
My mom told me that if I ever shaved my legs, she was like, she never allowed me to use tampons or shave my legs.
Because only sluts do that?
Correct.
What? Wait, so do Korean women not shave their legs? My mom left her legs.
Yes.
By the way. My mom, at a certain time, I remember she turned like, I don't know, 40, and she just stopped.
My mom said that all of her hair just fell out.
Oh, lucky. That's nice.
No, and let me tell you, it's true. A lot of my hair is just falling out. Like I don't grow
your
hair
body
anymore.
hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask what happened to your stash because I haven't seen it in a long time.
I literally it just stopped. I don't know what happened, but like
Wow.
like I went through puberty and I stopped growing hair. Like except for my pubes that are growing wild, too much actually. Like I guess all the hair, all the hair was like I think we'd have to go here. Yeah, it's crazy, but like
protect this area.
I mean, truly, but I never was allowed. But so that's what I mean. Like sometimes it requires the perspective of someone that is not in your circle.
Someone random. Yeah, you're right.
So like give you this piece of advice, this perspective, because anyone in your actual orbit, you would have felt so much more defensive and not heard it if it had been one of your friends.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Like, so going back to that girl, the handball girl, what she like so accurately called out about my faccent, trademarked.
Trademark pending.
Yeah. This episode should be called Faccent, by the way. I spent so long from high school to when I came out, like trying to make sure I sounded straight. You know, like, and only like, I even attempted to learn like baseball stats to have the vocabulary and parlance of straights. You know, that's, you know, we, normies, trade in emotional intelligence and conversations and talks about how we feel. The straights, they use stats.
Yes.
So that's their like language. That's their ones and zeros with each other, and that's how they like. Facts. That's how they greet each other. You know, they're like,
"Did you
happy
see
playoffs."
This thing? Yeah,
exactly, whatever. And so I even tried that, and I remember like when I came out, I was so relieved that like I didn't have to do that part anymore because it's so annoying to act like. To pretend to like sports or whatever, and also
to pretend to like not want to only read the tempo and the arts and culture section of the paper to like
thank you very much. And when you open the New York Times, go straight to A&E.
Yes, thank you.
And then obits, then opinion.
Yes,
but
that's actually our culture. It's arts and culture. Who's died? And then our opinions about them.
That's how I read the New York Times, by the way. Oh, a complete aside.
I do Wordle. All right.
Let me get to it afterwards. But anyway, so I finally like gave up that like seeking to like sound straight, and then now that I'm 40, I'm starting to like almost need to pick my faccent back up because. Yeah, it's like the opposite case from high school. So let me tell you what happened. So, you know, I was just in Honolulu. First of all, if you've never been to Hawaii or Honolulu specifically, because as you guys know, I went to Maui for Christmas for my mom, and it was beautiful, gorgeous, loved it, but it is not Honolulu. Oahu, it's very different. Okay. Honolulu or Oahu, the island, is Asia. It's Asian as fuck. Like everyone you see is Asian.
Yes.
The bus driver, the people checking you into the hotel, the fucking anyone serving you food, the Uber driver, literally like the person doing the snorkeling trip, everyone is Asian. Either you're native Hawaiian, Samoan, Pacific Islander, or there's a lot of Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese, like Southeast Asian, like there's so many Asians in Honolulu, and there's a reason for that because Asian immigration has been going there since the 1600s.
Yeah.
No, 1600s. The pineapple farms and stuff. And this is when there was a king of Hawaii. You know what I mean? Like it was a kingdom, and then we as a country just went in there.
Asian nation. It was a whole Asian nation.
A sovereign nation of Asians.
Yeah.
And we just went in there and we're like, mine, and took it. Hawaii was established in 1959. Not that long ago, after the Korean War was over. Okay? So it's been America for very little. Okay,
Yes.
so Oahu has been Asia for lack of a better term, till 1959, and then it became like an American state or whatever, a colony, but with state rights.
It was kind of a wild time, the 50s and 60s. Like I know someone.
We were just snatching shit up last minute.
And there were so many new countries that were being formed, even in like the African continent and stuff like that. I remember talking to someone about it, and she was like, I knew people at Rand McNally, a very exciting time in the map business.
For the cartographers. Yeah, Cardies.
Go off.
Go off, Cardies. Anyway, so I get to Oahu, and it was such a brilliant experience because I had experienced Maui, which was ostensibly white.
Really?
Maui was built up by rich white people.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
And because it was like less settled as an island.
Sure.
So white people came in and said, "We'll take this," and then
even
built
more beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and less Asians there because like they kicked them all out, right? So like because the land became so expensive.
Yes.
So I experienced Hawaii kind of backwards, right? So like when I went to Honolulu, I felt so incredibly. The only phrase I could think of was like at home. Like I imagine this is as close as it's gonna feel to being in Korea, but even maybe more at home because everyone speaks English here.
Yeah,
and it's like multi, ethnic. So it's not just Korean faces; it's like every type of Asian face. So it felt so cool. Even like the people who were manual laborers, like people cutting grass, were Asian. You know what I mean? Like so, it just felt like so cool and like safe and like around people that look like me and like have a cultural shorthand with me, so and the food was incredible and all Asian, poke, Japanese, Hawaiian food, Korean food, whatever. Like rarely are you eating like pizza, burger, whatever, literally never pasta. I didn't eat one piece of gluten.
Wasn't your
my shit was Unji, let me tell you,
cord like strong,
defined logs.
Yes,
like I had not shit like this, and like so imagine like being inundated by Asian faces, amazing food, incredible shits. Like I'm on cloud 9, and not only am I there, in paradise, I'm there working. So I got flown out there to do morning press, etc. for and screenings and Q&A for this movie I shot.
You did a junket, bitch. You did a junket.
Yeah, it was a junket. It was like a little junket.
Okay.
It was a junket. And
all right, Facet. Faxet. Come through.
Do you think people understand that it's like a derivative of black scent?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, you're like, yeah, idiot.
I think
this isn't clever. Anyway, so like, I'm getting back to the fact set now because it was such a beautiful time, right? And I was really on cloud 9, and I'm having a really, really great experience in Hawaii, and we get to the screening, and they have like these pageant queens there, It wasn't Miss Hawaii, it was like something else, but like basically, right?
Miss Hawaii, quarterly Hawaiian of this mid area.
Yeah, it was like Miss Honolulu East of downtown or something.
Okay, I know.
Miss Waikiki South.
Yes.
And so anyway, it was a pageant, and they were beautiful, and 3 queens came out. One was the winner. One was the runner-up.
Sure.
And one was the third runner-up.
Okay.
Apparently, the second runner-up had a better thing to do.
Okay, she lost her crown due to disgrace.
No.
No disgrace.
No disgrace. She just, I guess, had a paying gig or whatever. Like, so these queens have to like go around doing like, their stuff, like, handing out big checks and la-di-da-di-da, that kind of
carrying briefcases filled with money.
Like sure, I didn't see any of that. Okay. Yeah, but it was very like I am being presentational. I'm a gorgeous beauty queen.
Yes.
And that's what I do is like I do PR and stuff like that. So it was very nice for them to come out and like help market the film and publicize the film and blah blah. And at one point I am standing outside doing like Q&A and like meeting people who had come to the screenings, right? And then at one point, this lady turns around to me, like she's like a tiny Asian lady that's like has like very big producer vibes.
Oh yes.
Yes. So she's very
love
like
it.
you here, no, stand in the middle, and you do this, and I gotta get your number, and I know this person who's gonna hook you up, and we're gonna get you back for this thing. And I was like,
Yes.
okay, great. Like
I
Auntie's
love
in
that
charge,
energy.
right? I love that energy. She had like a tight bob, like truly,
my
she
God.
She was like the head of the Chinese Commerce Association or whatever.
Oh, I
like,
love it. I
yeah,
love it.
Chamber
Yes.
of Commerce. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyone in the chamber. Oh, I love those.
She's
that
just
energy.
like
Yes.
she's in control. She knows everyone. She's plugged in. She's a networker.
She's a networker. Yes. She's
Yeah.
like, she knows like she this. There's a word for it, and it's just it's like being it's the Yiddish word for it called like macher, which is like you are a big like a man. Like, you're making things happen. You are
the busybody, the connector.
The person that people go to because you know people.
Yes.
Like
yes.
you're a big
So
deal.
she's the one, right? She comes up to me and she says, "You're so funny. You were great in the film. You have to come back to Honolulu to do comedy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then while she's saying that, she gets like pulled away to talk to the queens. And then she comes back to me and I'm like saying hello to me, and she pulls me by the elbow. She's like, come here. She's like, "Do you like any of these girls?" And I'm like, "What?" And then she's like, I just went over there and the queens are talking. They're digging your look." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "One of them even said that you lost so much weight from the movie that you're unrecognizable." And I was like, "Okay." And then she was like, "Another one was asking me if you gained weight just for the movie." And I was like, "What?" Now these three beauty queens are like
That's like some
talking
Asian,
about
the most Asian shit that I've ever heard
what
in my
my
life.
body looks like from a kid. They're like, "Wow, he on screen." And I was at my heaviest when I played, but it was also a role about a guy who's depressed and heavy. So they thought like I put on weight, and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Daniel Day-Lewis this?"
yeah, exactly." I'm like, I'm really Christian
commitment
Bailing
you were-
myself here in The Machinist. Like what? I like, oh, I'm Brendan Fraser in The Whale, and I'm this is my Oscar-worthy role. And I was just like standing there going, okay, first of all, how do I even take this? The fact that they thought that I gained all this weight for this movie, and now that like I guess it's a compliment that like I look better now. And secondly,
And also
she's
they
coming over
think you're
here
an
trying
artist.
to they think that, yeah, oddly. And
like a real artist.
And this little lady comes over and she's like trying to do matchmaker, because in the film I play a straight guy who's getting divorced.
Sure.
And she's like, "Oh, which one of these girls do you like?" And I'm like, "No, I'm playing a role. I'm gay." Like,
Yeah.
and then that's when I was like, fact send. Like I have to I have to bring back the fact send. And like I have to make sure that, and the thing is, I also don't telegraph by like wearing loud clothes
Sure.
or like, I don't know, like tank tops
Can I
all the
ask you
time.
something?
Like I just don't what.
Can I ask you something? Do you think that subconsciously, okay, and I'm someone who wasn't there, so I don't know. Do you think subconsciously, because you are around a lot of Asian people, you kind of like
Reverting back?
subconsciously, not even reverting, like, or it's anything conscious, but like you tamp down
The gay?
the gay.
Maybe. But I don't think I don't know. I guess subconsciously I wouldn't know because I'm not trying to, but I'm also, again, like this is the same thing that happened in my Pilates class, remember? Where
Yeah.
that
Yes.
Korean mom was like, "Hey, look at him. He's like worried about his core and he's has
I mean, like,
expended-"
but all the things that she
like-
was saying are like clearly would register to anybody else as the fact that you are gay. So do you think it's just like
right, that
older-
I'm in a Pilates class.
Yeah, you're in like already you're done.
Yeah.
You would have to prove to somebody that you're straight.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but like in this case, they've never met me before. They've only seen me act as this guy Roy in this movie, who I
But
play
you
a
did a
straight
Q&A.
man. Afterwards, in the when they came out,
Yeah.
and I was like shaking hands with them, but like I don't know, I guess like in their minds they saw me as Roy, so that's who they think I am, and then now I have to stand
you must be a
outside
really
and be
good
like,
actor.
I'm a okay actor. There were a couple of points
Yeah.
where I was like, he's really not selling this, but like the acting was okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, but the fact that people are layering on the attributes of the role onto you.
To me,
That they
it's
see
also
it
because
to-
I don't
yeah.
seem that different than just a straight man. Like I think it's because I don't like wear loud clothes or colors, or I wear my pants aren't tight enough or something. And these are all not because I want to act straight. It's because my body doesn't feel good in
Yeah,
those.
yeah,
And also I'm not like, for an Asian gay, I'm not like a skinny little twink that projects like I'm gay, you know, like, and I don't even want to say that you have to do
Yeah.
that. Like, why can't you just be gay and just look whatever the fuck you look? You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's because most people are coming into looking at me and meeting me as a straight person that I have to in turn prove my homosexuality or queerness. So it's like I'm dealing with the opposite of what I dealt with in high school, where I'm like trying to prove that I'm straight. Now I'm trying to like prove that I'm gay. And it's such a wild fucking experience. And I know I could take on more visual cues to say
But
that I'm
why?
gay. But
I
that's
mean,
what
it's
I
not-
mean.
if it's
It's
not-
like I
it's
shouldn't
not-
have
yeah.
to.
If
I
it's
shouldn't
not
have to, but like
organic to you-
I know, but it's like I'm getting. I don't want to have to go through this all the time when I meet someone new. It'd be like,
I mean, it's only going to happen with older Asian people.
yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, truly, like, I don't think that people even 10 years older than
On the
us
reg?
do that shit. Yeah.
I mean, even
Don't
okay,
do
just
that
the other day
shit.
I did a show at whatever. I did a show and I saw a comic, Fumi Abe, and I walk in and he was like, "Whoa, you look cool." And I was like, "Do I?" And he's like, "Yeah, you look mad straight." And I go,
He did
"What?"
not say that.
He did, and he said, "You look like you just like came here from like fucking a chick." And I was like, and what was I wearing? I was wearing like a red and blue like flannel tucked into my jeans. I guess that's straight. Okay. That's like hetero. And he was wearing some like flowy kind of like almost like Japanese American styled kind of whatever. And I was like, well, you look flowy and gay. And we just like exchanged who we were. But like even another comic who like clearly knows I'm gay is saying that I'm projecting straight. And with my clothes specifically.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think I have to like dress gayer, but I don't even know what that means. Like I think maybe more color.
I think what they're saying is that you look older.
You're right. Gay is young and straight is old.
Oh.
No, I don't know. Like I don't want to. It's also because like I'm from New York and I tend to wear a lot of like blacks, grays, navies. Like I don't wear a lot of color just in general. That's just not how I express myself, you know? So like,
yeah.
And a lot of gays are very expressive with their fashion and whatever. So like, that's a way that they convey to the world and to each other and to everyone that I'm here and I'm proud and blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't do that. So I got to figure out a way to like, tell people I'm gay. Like, should I start wearing like earrings or something? Like dangly earrings?
I mean, I don't want to.
I don't know.
I
don't know
think
what to
that
do.
I think if it's not organic, also there are tons and tons and tons of gay men and women and everything in between that do not telegraph whatever their orientation is through their dress, because it's not organic to them. It's
okay.
also
If you are one of these
flare-
people, like, can you write in and tell us like how you deal with this, or like if you even care, or like what is it on a daily basis that because then you're basically like everyone. The default is straight, heteronormative. So everyone just assumes you're straight if you're not something else, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like what I'm dealing with right now, that I'm like too blended.
But I also don't love when people are constantly telegraphing what their
sexual
identity
orientation.
Is. Yeah, their identity is. Like, I mean, if it is an orientation, but like there's plenty of ways of addressing that without. I mean, also, Peter, there's so many people inside of the gay community, and you know this, that like fetishize straight looking people. Like that's
and
what they
straight acting,
acting, and look, you know what I mean. But
I'm not
I don't
doing
think
that for
anybody,
that.
You're not doing that at all. Like, I don't think anyone having a conversation with you for over 2 sentences, if you're allowed to speak, is walking away from that being like, what a nice straight boy. I don't think anyone's ever saying that. I mean,
it's just like it's just the nonverbal cues I'm not giving off.
I mean, I guess you could wear a pin that says gay.
I could wear gay and proud or something like that.
Gay and proud.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
I mean, I don't know. You could get interesting glasses.
Are these not interesting enough? Are these too normal looking? I guess. They have to be like super fashiony, big cat eye.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you're right. I have to.
Because you love an accessory.
I do love an accessory, and I love jewelry and all that, and I wear jewelry, but like, I don't know, maybe I wasn't wearing enough in Hawaii because I was just like in beach mode or whatever. And like, even when I'm in beach mode, I'm wearing tank top and like shorts, and that's like, I think that's just how I'm comfortable. But like, if you're gay on the beach, you can't wear a tank top and shorts. You have to be naked with just a little G-string on or whatever. Like, that's the gay thing, right? It's like...
That's not the gay thing.
No gays are wearing trunks. No gays are wearing trunks on the beach.
It's a niche part of the gay community. I don't think...
What?
Like, a ton of people...
Wearing Speedos? Mm-hmm. That's every gay on the beach. It's if you took 100 gays on the beach, 99 are in a Speedo or a thong, and it's me wearing trunks.
I would say,
albeit they're short, they're above the knee.
I wouldn't say 99%. I would say 70.
89. It's a huge number.
Okay, how
so
about
much
this?
that like
I'll give you
so much that like people don't believe me when I'm just in trunks. They're like, ooh, on the beach looking for fish, like it's
Look at that fisherman over there.
Yeah. Teach a man to fish. He'll be drowning in pussy.
I never really... I mean, at this point, does it bother you enough that you do want to have more visual cues?
I don't know. I'm like trying to figure that out right now. Because like now it's been like multiple touch points of me having to... It's the fact that I have to come out over and over again. You know what I mean? So like,
yes.
If just to negate that, maybe I should start like wearing something obvious, like nipple clamps or something, where like I'm telegraphing that I'm into weird stuff. I don't want the P&V. But like, why is it any of your business? Why is it? Like, what do you care? You're right. It's only older Asian women who are grabbing my elbow saying like, I want to hook you up with this beauty queen, third runner up. I'm like, bitch, I can't have the fucking winner. I can't have the winner.
First runner up. Or even the first runner up. Come on. I mean, I will say that like the experience of constantly coming out is bisexual. So like that is maybe like you always constantly remind people, but
maybe I should just tell people I'm bisexual.
And so it's always like a cool thing. I mean,
no, it's just so that they're not okay. Imagine like I'm going through that thing, right? And like I'm presenting how I present, and they go, "Oh, I want to hook you up with this girl." Oh, then it wouldn't make sense because then I'd be bisexual and I'd be into it.
I also don't think did you not read like this? Because your style has not particularly changed. If
I was
anything, it's
wearing
kind of
a
become
Hawaiian shirt and trunks.
Yeah.
Like, I guess
if anything, you've
that's
become a little more
more
flamboyant
gay.
since. Yeah.
I thought, but I don't know.
Did
Maybe
it
it's
happen
the
in
hair.
Chicago?
No. But Chicago, I was never around Asians. I was only around white comedians.
Okay.
So either they got it or they were too afraid to ask.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
I do really think that it is like an older Asian thing. Because if they're young,
You're right.
yeah. So
Anyway,
I mean,
so Honolulu was great, but there was that kind of embarrassment.
of being trying to be set up with the third runner-up, yeah, very embarrassing.
No, not just that, but the three beauty queens actively discussing my weight,
Your weight?
and my body from three beauty queens, which like they should be aware that that's happening to them all the time. But you know
They're
what?
just bringing it in.
Her people, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. They were great. But it was a little like of a fucking up with the mind. Like, I'm just like, it was a mind fuck of like these three women who are like judged by their physical attributes are judging me by my physical attributes, but in a way where it's like they might be slightly into it. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the
it's
people
odd.
that
It's
traffic
odd.
and people that traffic in that sort of validation and understand looks as being quantified, of course
Yeah.
they're going to talk about that sort of stuff, and
guess
that's how
so.
they.
Yeah.
That's also how they're bestowing honor and favor
But
to you.
to be
They're
included,
like,
even I know that, but like to be even included in that conversation where I'm like, I don't even want to be. Like, if I was just wearing like a pink tank top and you know a little eye makeup or something, they would never even like talk about that. It's because they assumed I was heterosexual and I don't know, possibly available, that they would even consider like talking about the fact that I lost weight or I'm more attractive now than the movie or whatever the
Right.
consensus
I didn't
was.
think about
You know what I
that.
mean? Like
Yeah.
they would never talk about a gay man's body like that. Like they would never.
only gay men would say that. Yeah.
Yes, and we deserve it. But not from a straight woman.
From each other. Yeah, from
Like,
each other,
that's-
of course.
Yeah, like that's being done with each other and that little short Asian woman. They're all talking about me because they think like, oh, there might be a little matching thing or whatever. Like, oh, look at him. He was funny in the movie. And now he's lost like 65 pounds.
Look at
him. You know, whatever.
him. Okay.
Yeah.
Things
You
are-
know, so like, I think it's that guys that I was just like, I wish we could just cut through all this. But also at the same time, I'm very like flattered that a straight woman would, or straight women might objectify me. So in that way, I'm kind of like, okay, sis.
I mean, yeah. So, listeners, if you have any ideas of how Peter can read and project more
Yeah.
queer,
How can I
Code
be
yourself
fact
queer.
scented? Yes.
Yeah.
Visually fact scented.
yeah, let's because right now there's just a whiff, and we want to enhance
A stench.
enhance the flavor and the umami of the fact scent. So, like,
Yes. Yes.
so how does he enhance the aroma of
Yeah.
queerness?
I'm
I mean,
into
you
like
know-
accessories and jewelry. You know, it's clothes too, but like it's more like I like that stuff. I like
Yes.
you know, putting things on, putting things off, like layering.
You like being
Fa-
like a fussiness with accessories.
Yes, yes. I like having like a lot of things on my neck and my hands and you know, stuff I could put on, put off. But not necessarily a lot of I like my clothes to be just basic. And then
What about BB cream?
what's BB cream? Your face
It's
cream?
like, yeah. So it's basically a sunscreen with a little bit of color to it.
Tint?
Tint.
Oh, I don't need more color. I think I'm like
No, it's like a tint to like cover. So it's like almost like, so it's like it just
Foundation?
smooths foundation, but it's not as thick.
Oh.
It's not as
Oh,
thick.
I want that.
It's like a little sheer, but it just evens everything out, and you
Ooh.
can kind of tell that people are wearing it. You kind of can't. You know what I mean? Like,
but like
it's
if you kind of tell if you wearing it, then it's like, oh, he might be gay.
yes,
Yeah.
or a Korean or like a K-pop star.
Or yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll look into that BB cream.
Yeah, I mean, just because one, it's also SPF.
That's what I need. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect.
But also it'll like smooth and it'll create a little bit of like you look a little makeup.
A sheen. Okay,
sheen.
I like that anyway. Yeah. Okay, I'll look into it. Do you have any brand that you particularly like?
There's a couple. If you just look it up and then filter on Amazon for bestseller, there's like a couple of Asian ones like that are good. Like
okay.
I forget, it's like
Korean
or yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The Korean ones are the best. Yeah.
Before we go, I got one last piece of thing that's like a tag to this whole story, right? So the movie Dealing with Dad comes out in Hawaii, and we're doing it, and I come back here. I come back here, and it was like my first day back, and I see all of a sudden one of my friends sent me a DM saying, "What, bitch? I can't believe like you're in the New York Times. What the fuck?" And then she sends me the thing about Dealing with Dad being reviewed in the New York Times, which honestly,
it's an honor.
Told you this, like it's an honor just to be mentioned.
Yes.
And secondly, I was like, who do we have doing PR for this fucking film? Because
it's credible.
This movie is not available in theaters everywhere. It's in select markets, and then it's available for digital download like iTunes and stuff like that, right? Amazon.
Okay.
So like, I could not believe we were there. And then I click into
just an
it,
honor.
and I
just an
I
honor
read
to be
the
nominated
thing.
for the Nami. Yeah.
Let me tell you, is it? Because it says, in a modern film about a family's strained efforts to manage the patriarch's mental illness, however, it demonstrates a critical misunderstanding of the material strengths. The family is hurting. Dumbing them down doesn't help. That's the last sentence of the review. So we got absolutely eviscerated by the New York Times.
Eviscerated. Okay, listeners.
Unji.
Go read the review. It eviscerate.
Fine,
is
go
the
read the
wrong
review.
Verb.
Go read the review. It's not great.
Eviscerate is the wrong verb.
Sure.
Lukewarm.
Well, what verb? That's not a verb.
It's a description.
Yeah, sure.
Lukewarm
okay.
is a more apt. Lukewarm is the more apt description.
Yeah, you're right.
Eviscerate?
It wasn't it felt like it. I mean, yeah, fine. Maybe not eviscerate.
You were not part of not eviscerated. You were not.
Okay, one of the pull quotes.
Takedown.
One of the pull quotes is this quote: "The film is at its most compelling when tackling this tension between care and resentment head on. It has a ring of truth that's sadly squandered whenever Huang reaches for easy laughs."
Okay, so do you see the beginning?
Being the director,
the
film is at its most compelling when tackling this tension between care and resentment head on. It has a ring of truth.
And then at the end,
that's sadly squandered. That's a bait and switch.
Yeah.
This could be good,
that's not eviscerated.
Oh my
god! That's
whatever. Anyway,
it got slapped.
Anyway, so my high school friend sent me this and was like, "Oh my god, bitch!" And this is like a New Yorker, so like,
yeah.
I'm especially proud that a fellow New Yorker, not in the industry, is like, "Bitch, New York Times, fucking cool, right?" And then I go, "Yeah, don't read it though. Like, we completely got eviscerated." That's what I said. So like, haha, how great is that? And she's like, "Bitch, I don't pay for the subscription. I'm only reading the headline, so it sounds good to me." I was like, because on the tagline it sounds fine. It's only when you pay for the subscription and click into it that you can read it. So she's like, "Hey, bunch of us out here don't subscribe, so we think it's good, so whatever."
Saved by the bell. Like, Jesus Christ, that's so funny. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter.
That's
it is
real.
an honor
That's
just
real.
to be. It's an honor just to be mentioned, to be nominated for a Nami. It's an honor. It's an honor. I mean, truly, like, I mean, she's right. They're right. Like, it's who pays for it. I mean, a select few, the liberal elite. The rest of them, it's just fucking cool. And you weren't eviscerated. The movie itself wasn't eviscerated. There were choices that were maligned. It was maligned. Choices that were maligned, but the actual movie was not eviscerated. And it's crazy that it was included. Honey, you're an indie darling. Okay? It's begun. Move over.
I guess
move
once
over
you're in the
Parker
New York
Posey.
Times.
Peter Kim is coming. Move over Poker Posey. Chloe Sevigny. Peter Kim is coming.
Oh my god.
I mean, truly, like, I think it is such a. I mean, also, what a coup!
It is. Yeah, I'm being a bitch, but like it is
to have your first
awesome
review
to
in
be
the Times.
In the Times. That's pretty crazy.
Yes. And
Even though it's not what I wanted. Even though it's not at all complimentary about me personally, but
you got that one out of the way. The lukewarm review, you got
the bad one's out of the way. The bad one's out of the way. The next one will be better.
There you go.
All right.
And you're so skinny now.
And so fuckable by the third loser of Miss Hawaii Central
East,
Downtown.
the Miss Honolulu Panda Express sponsored like Central
East.
Yes.
Miss Fan Masubi Light. No, they were great. The pageants. I forgot what the beauty pageant was, but shout out to you guys for coming out and really doing the job. They were in heels all day, like giving out swag and stuff.
Oh,
so
Jesus
that was
Christ,
very cool. Thank you so much for listening. This is all the time we have today, but we are going to be back with you next week. We love you.
Okay.
Stay
Bye.
safe and whiting. Bye.